Listen to the music of the moment. People dance and sing. We're just one big family, and it's our God-forsaken right to be loved, loved, love, love. So there was a moment last night where everyone was dancing. And it was really an amazing moment in the bar area. The Founders Room, for those of you who don't know, the Founders Room has a lot of different spaces in it. And while that can seem like it separates us, the sound was going into all the rooms, and there was a moment when every room was jumping. The bar was just all dancing. And I walked through the bar, got through the dancers, and walked into the other room, and all these women, it was all women, were doing this big line dance. And so then I joined them for a little bit, and then I went back into the other room just as Happy came on. And when it came on, everyone, Bob was just like bouncing off the walls. Everybody was just dancing, and I just stood there for a moment. I didn't stand, I was hopping. But as I was hopping, I was just noticing this amazing group of people and this song. Listen to the music of the moment people dance and sing. The kids were on the balcony. There were women in the parish room, that's the auction room. People were sitting in the booths looking out at the city, and when I walked through there, they were all kind of just looking at the city. But that's where we got to by midnight, by like around 11 o'clock, 11:30 midnight. So there's another lyric in this song that says this: well, I reckon it's again my turn to win some or learn some. And I will say, last night was a lot of wins and a lot of learns. Winning some and learning some. We were at a brand new venue. It was my decision that I wanted us to go to a new venue. I wanted us to go to a new place. I wanted us to go to a new level, a new consciousness, a new idea. I want a new idea for church. I want a new idea of what it means. This morning on the internet, Reverend Mark Anthony Lord wrote and gave his notice that he will be leaving Bodhi Center at the end of the month. I knew this a month ago or so, and it was announced today, because what he feels is that it's time for him to go do what he really wants to do, even though he spent, how many years, Karen? 10 years? 10 years at Bodhi. Kind of the same as me. He was about a year ahead of me opening a church. I'm not ready to go anywhere. I'm just ready to take us somewhere. I'm not done ministry. But I am done ministry if it means I have to do the same thing all the time. So that's what last night was all about. And I know it was challenging for some people. I know that. It was challenging for us to learn how to use the venue, how to use this particular venue. And I have to say, first, thank you to all of you, because many of you who had challenges with the venue decided to not have challenges with the venue, and then just danced the night away and just bounced off the walls. And and it really was, as my son said this morning, he said it was the most memorable gala, and he's been to all of them he's ever been to. And Dell and Nora, they were like, it was the best night of our lives. And it was really, really spectacular in many ways. But I don't want to overlook and underlook the challenges. I get it. And we knew that going in. We said, you know what? There will be challenges because we're going to go to a new place. We're going to do something new. And it brings me to what I want to talk about today, which is this. Learning how to use a new venue has been our major thrust of our lives, because Earth is a venue. Your body is a venue. Learning how to use the world we live in a new way is really what this is all about. That's what New Thought is all about. Learning how to use our minds in a new way. And Francesca did a beautiful reading this morning from John O'Donohue, so I asked her to leave it here. And it's this: love the life of your mind, furnishing it ever with new thought. Love the life of your mind, furnishing it ever with new thought, so that your countenance glows with the joy of being alive. Being alive! Couldn't help it. So, had to sing. So, this month is the rhythm of life. Ernest Holmes says this: hold steadfastly to the thought that all of life is in a state of eternal flow. Hold steadfastly to the thought that all of life is in a state of eternal flow. So, there is a rhythm of life that is pulsating through you. It's not a rhythm you create. Let's get clear. You don't create the rhythm of life. You create your experience of the rhythm of life. Did you all get the difference in that? There is a rhythm of life that is so powerful, so creative, so unique, so amazing, so infinite in its scope. And you, Bonnie, you get to take that and make it whatever you want, to dance however you want. The only sin is to not dance. The only sin is to not get in touch with that rhythm, to allow that rhythm to take you somewhere. And get what I just said, to allow that rhythm to take you somewhere, not you to take that rhythm somewhere. See, we get it backwards. Even in this teaching, we keep thinking that we're in charge. I take control. Yeah, I take control of my individual mind. And I allow the one mind to be that which I fall back into. And I take control in order to make that happen. I take my mind and I consciously decide, what's the rhythm? And last night there were a lot of rhythms. There were a lot of rhythms, and I just let them flow through me, and I just let them go where they went, and then I took deep breaths constantly, and people kept saying, are you having a good time? I was like, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. And I got there. And here's the thing. As I was getting there, the rhythm of life was already there. And that's what I got last night. Each one of us is a choice to let the rhythm of life constantly flow through us, and it doesn't matter where we are, what we're doing, who we're with. It's our personal journey. So, Ernest Holmes also says this: we can train our ears to listen to the divine harmony within. Then we shall reproduce its melody, rhythm, and beauty in all our ways. So there is something in you that you can consciously train your mind to tune into, to tap into. The thing is, we actually produce whatever melody, rhythm, and beauty is in our minds, or whatever melody, rhythm, and some not beautiful things are in our minds. We can tap into anything, because as Reverend Nancy said, there is this infinite consciousness in the universe, and there's a lot of things being thought on this planet. Can't you feel it? Do you ever walk into a room and you just know that that room has an energy that you want to escape? Right? You just walk into a room and people are in such a mood and you're like, I just want to get out of here. Right? That's just consciousness. The thing is, that consciousness is your consciousness. It's not their consciousness. It's yours now, because here you are. That's what the song says. I'm yours. I'm yours, Spirit. You brought me here, but I have the conscious choice to then walk this way and say, yeah, not for me. Bless you. I love that someone said to me, some people you just have to bless for their highest and furthest. Open up your mind. I got to tell you, when the minister said that to me, treat for their highest and furthest, I was like, I could have had a V8. Why didn't I think of that? Yes. Open up your mind. Open up your mind and see like me. Open up your heart and damn, you're free. Damn, you're free. Look into your heart and you'll find love, love, love. See like me. You know, that's a lyric that Jesus of Nazareth could have written. Think about it. Couldn't you just see Jesus instead of, getting up in the Mount of Olives and just going, open up your mind and see like me? That's what he was saying. That's what Jesus was saying. I am here to show you, not to tell you I'm God and you're not. I'm here to say, you're all God. I and the Father are one. Greater things will you do than even I do. We don't even have an internet in Jerusalem right now. Someday, I see it. That's what Jesus was all about. I love it. Whenever my brother asks me, the born-again fundamentalist brother that I have who's a minister, and he's always checking in with me on my relationship with Jesus, and it's just so funny. He always says it. How's your relationship with Jesus? And in the beginning, it would just infuriate me. I'd be like, why? That was my early ministerial years. Now he says, how's your relationship with Jesus? I'm like, awesome. Oh my God, Jesus and I. And then he says, but do you see him as your Savior? I went, again, let's go back to the first question. So we just don't talk about the Savior stuff. See like me. And that means see it all as God, all as good. See it all as an opportunity to understand more, to know more. So last night, someone had come up to me and said that it was really loud. Actually, a few people told me it was really loud. How many of you thought it was really loud? Yeah. So it was really loud, good loud in some ways. Yeah. I love Joe Jordan. I said to Joe Jordan, I said, is it a little loud? And she went, I love loud. And she said, I love hearing new music that I've never heard before. And I think she said, it is music, right? But the one person who asked me and said, it's so loud, I can't talk to my friends. And I said, just come with me. If you go up these stairs and around the corner, you're going to find a room filled with your friends, and it's quieter in there. It's much quieter, and you can actually sit down, and you can relax. And this person was like, no, I don't want to do that. And I was like, okay. Well, it's not going to get softer. And you happen to be standing right under the speaker. But okay. And there are moments where you go, I've done all I can do here. And here's the thing. I bring this up because it's a metaphor for it's always just around the corner. Whatever mood you find yourself in, get yourself in, the truth is just right there around the corner. It's just right there. You just have to walk up a mental staircase to a higher level of consciousness. And there are all your friends, Jesus, Buddha, Moses, Marianne Williamson. She's channeling from this plane. They're all there. Every bit of wisdom you ever needed, it's right there, just around the corner. But you can choose to stand in your stuff where you're annoyed. Or you can rise to another level of consciousness and find love, love, love. So, I've been spending way too long checking my tongue in the mirror. Do you remember what checking your tongue in the mirror was all about? Nobody knows that? Must have been a Philadelphia thing. Isn't there other Philly people here? Nothing, huh? No. Okay, checking your tongue in the mirror was about health. Of course, it was in the primitive days. That's how you knew if you were healthy. Doctors would ask you to stick out your tongue, and by the shade of your tongue, they could tell whether you were healthy or sick. You're like, wow, really good information, move it along. Here's why I tell you this. Thank God. It's because it was in those days, it was to see if you were well, you'd stick out your tongue. And yet the truth is, your tongue is you are always in a good state. But we are spending so much time bending over backwards just to try to see life clearer. To see, am I okay? Asking ourselves, am I okay? What do you think am I okay needs to be turned to? I am okay. Instead of, how am I doing? Am I okay? Am I sick? No, it's like Nancy. It was like, I have a stroke, and what am I here? Of course, you know why she didn't call her family? Do you all know why she didn't call her family? Because if she called her family, they would get into the consciousness of fear and upsetment. When I had cancer, I didn't want to tell anyone, but I was going to have a big operation, and I had to tell you. So what I did was I told you a story about someone else. Because you didn't personalize it with me, and everybody just sat in this auditorium when I'm talking about stage 4 cancer, and this guy was told he could die by August, and everybody's calm. They're just like, that's sad. I was like, but how I think hangnail cancer, same thing. They're like, yeah. And then I said, by the way, I don't want you to feel like I duped you, but I'm talking about me. And the gasp was deafening. It was like, I was like, and that's exactly why I didn't want to tell you. Because I didn't want that consciousness, but I will say this church really rose to the occasion of keeping me in their health mindset. So, but my breath fogged up the glass, and I drew a new face, and I laughed. Last night, I met 2 new people that come to our church, and they said to me, they really loved the fact that I had humor in my talks. Are you guys here today? You're probably online. So, but they said, we really love that you have humor in your talks. And I said to them, I said, well, as far as I'm concerned, I see it this way. Either You laugh, or you're spending way too much time looking at your tongue in the mirror. You either laugh, or you don't laugh. And frankly, I see a lot to laugh at. Don't you? In your life? What's your option? If you have an option of laughing it off or getting involved in it and telling everybody about it and attracting everyone to you who feels the same way, which one do you want? Laugh. Someone's up. I know one of you is going, actually, I like this side. Because there's more of us. No, laugh. It's about laughter. Can you hold your life with such divine lightness that you don't get involved in the serious side of life to such a degree that you are weighed down and you couldn't possibly hop up and down or dance? Because when you get so weighed down, you are literally weighed down. So, it's a real question. You just have to ask yourself. So this month, the rhythm of life, this month, I'm going to give you 3 things here to do. Number 1, I want you to identify your rhythm. I want you to name that rhythm. I want you to identify, what rhythm do you live your life at? What rhythm? When we do spiritual boot camp, it's one of the things I ask them to do, and we do it in CPR too. I ask you to find your rhythm and name it. And people are like, I'm a bossa nova. I am a tango. I'm like an erratic rhythm. What kind of rhythm are you? What's the rhythm of your life? How do you play your life? How does your life dance out? And I also want to ask you this. When you think about your rhythm, do you feel like your rhythm's being thrust upon you? Or are you creating your own rhythm? Meaning, are you taking from the rhythm of life and allowing that rhythm to come into you? So I really want you to spend, that's number 1, identifying your rhythm. Number 2, once you identify it, I want you this month to decide, is it the rhythm I want to live my life at? Identify it, and then ask yourself, is this the rhythm I want? I know a lot of people that are living very stressful rhythms, that spend their life in the throes of pressure and stress. Is that really the rhythm you want to live at? And many of them I will say, why are you so stressed? And the answer is, do you see what's happening? Stress has nothing to do with what's happening. Stress only has to do with how you experience what's happening. So, find your rhythm, number 1. 2, decide if it's the rhythm you really want to dance to. And number 3, and here's the one, if it's not, change it. If it's not the rhythm you want to be living at, change the rhythm. Because you can. You can change the rhythm. There is an infinite divine rhythm of life moving through us at all times. Sammy Davis Jr. told us that. Oh wow, I'm the only one that knows that reference. Thank you, yes, Sweet Charity. So there's this great rhythm of life, and all you have to do is decide what you're going to do with it. So, identify it, decide if it's what you want, and number 3, change it up if it's not. There is an infinite catalog of music in the universe. Why listen to the same old all the time when there's something new to be hearing? And I'm not saying that we don't all have our favorite music. I have tons of music that I love. But I love listening to new music. My son, who's about to leave, he's constantly asking me to come in and listen to new music. And it amazes me how much of it I love. I just do. I love it. And then there's some I don't. But I understand that. So, in the end, only you know if you are giving yourself over to, if you are surrendering to the rhythm of life. Miguel Ruiz said, and this is Don Miguel Ruiz's son, he said, life is like dancing. If we have a big floor, many people will dance. Some will get angry when the rhythm changes, but life is changing all the time. So, as we make our way through our years, as we make our way through the venue we call life, as we make our way through this beautiful space we all inhabit together as a family, it is so important for us to find within ourselves that which makes us sing and dance, that which makes us so passionate about life that we cannot wait to wake up in the morning. That's the rhythm I want. That's the rhythm I know each and every one of us want. We want to feel so alive, we can't help but turn on that dang song Happy and just dance. How many of you do that? I love listening to that song. It just, every time it comes on, I'm like, oh! That's the rhythm. There is a rhythm there. And I love this. Elvis Presley said this.
The king.
Yes. And I am, no. Okay. The king, he said, rhythm is something that when you have it all over. So, when you have it all over. And I'm here to tell you, you have it. Not only do you have it, you are it. You are the rhythm of life. It is just oozing out of you. It is asking you, get out of the way and let me come up through you. Let me pulse through you. Let me show you the real dance of life. Let me show you the real rhythm of life. Let me show you what God is when God is in its infinite splendor. Let me show you what is inside of you, just waiting to get out. And that just may mean putting down your idea of what you are and who you are and just asking yourself, is this who I am? And if the answer is, I'd like to try someone else, I'd like to try something else, step out of the way, just let Spirit move through you, because there is a rhythm of life inside just waiting for you to express it in a way that only you can. Namaste.